Good morning. It's Sunday morning, 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm here for a Sunday thought. And this week I'm at home. I'm also half asleep because I didn't sleep well last night. I don't know why. I could not drop off to sleep. My mind was going here, there, and everywhere. But one of the reasons may have been was because I led a channeling session for several people with their guides yesterday. It is something I enjoy doing because I deal a lot with just people where they are in relation to their lives, transforming energy, things like that, aspects that are not working for them. But guides, they will often talk directly about soul matters. And as you can see, my voice today is a little cracked up as well. Now, why would that be important? Because although we are in this body that you have and I have and everyone around you has, the moment you leave this body, your soul transcends, and your soul is much more than what we see, feel, and are aware of at this moment because it's had experiences. Now, very often, as I've said, what we do is based on previous experiences, we've made decisions which govern often how we respond in this life now. But what I find what the guides do when they begin talking is they sort of hit into the heart and soul of often of matters and explain who you are really, or what maybe need to be done. Now, the one thing, no matter what it is, it's not the same conversation because it's a different guide and they're talking in a different way. They have a different way of expressing themselves. They have all sorts of elements of looking into. Now, I've done this for a large number of years, and then with COVID lockdowns and not seeing and not getting together with people, we stopped doing them. But then I began to realize more. Not, I think it was last month I did my first one, and we had a couple of. I only will take so many at a time, and so that we had a couple left over that we said, okay, we'll do another day, which was yesterday, and now again I have a couple of people that somehow missed the take or missed something, and so they're in my mailing list for next time. So there's lots of I wish this voice of mine was straightened out. I don't know what's going on there with that. There's a problem with it yesterday too, but never mind. We'll muddle on through as usual. So what I found very often is that the essence of you, the soul of you, the direction of you very often is different than what you think of yourself in relation to where you are. So I used to do readings, not so much these days, but I have done readings where we've looked at the soul journey from when the soul first sprang into being as a soul, and what different dimensions they've been through, different planets, different awarenesses, and what brought them to Earth. How when they first came to Earth, we come to Earth for various reasons, often by not really looking where we're going, and people wonder why they end up on this beautiful, beautiful but emotional planet. So anyway, the soul essence really always gives people a sort of a guide, a direction to begin to look at or to do. And occasionally, and this happened yesterday, they will ask you a question or two. And sometimes that takes you a little bit by surprise. They're asking me a question. Oh my goodness, like what am I supposed? Oh, they kind of run around trying to think. That guide is talking to me. Yes, they talk through me. Yes, I know, but they ask you the question, and I do make a say sometimes they will ask that for, and if there's any questions you really want answered. And because you know what's brewing in your mind more than, even though they can read it, even though they can know it, it's easier sometimes if you speak it out, and then they can work with that too as well. So for me, it was a very interesting day yesterday, and gave me lots of food for thought as we followed. Of course, I didn't get mine. I don't have mine, but they talk to me all the time anyway if I want to know something. So that's always very, very helpful. But so you might want to think about that. Are you on mission? Are you doing what you want to do? Are you following your main heart's desire? Are you listening to your guides or your people or your awareness of learning? But I found for myself, as I remember when I got older, I used to wonder a lot as a child about things because of, my little bit of a religious background, but just wonder philosophically. Then I would took classes, and then I began to teach classes like meditation and psychic development. We used to do with, especially as my kids started to grow on up, so they got that instruction as well. But I was being instructed at night while I was sleeping. I knew that because I'd wake up, and I've mentioned this before. But also, what I found was that as I grew, my guides changed. I would be taken, I'd be meditating, and I'd be taken somewhere and introduced to the next person who was going to train me. And then I ended up for years working with a guide called Rama, and he was a character for sure. But he taught me so much about discipline and awareness and not to be a baby. Why is this happening? Just get on with it, kind of thing. This is what you're going to do. He, in his turn, introduced me some very high teachers, and it was a wonderful journey that I had with him. And then when I moved to Penticton here, I also happened to get sick at that time, and I wasn't able to work as well. And so he's a very busy guide and doing a lot of teaching, and I wasn't doing that much, so I didn't see him as often. And so different guides came in and helped me work with other things as well. All very evolved, which was nice, and that has kept up. But just know there are people out there that really want to help you, and look, they watch over you. But you've got to ask them for help. You've got to ask for clarity. You've got to ask for awareness of all the things that you want to do. But the Sunday thought today is really to think about your soul. Are you in your right mission? Are you following your heart's desire for your growth, your spiritual element, your philosophical element, whichever way you look at that, so that you're moving in the direction that you want to see? That is really the Sunday thought today. And it's nice for me being back home again too, even if I didn't sleep very well last night. So it's like changes are happening, moving in more into fall, all that awareness. So I'm going to say bye on this part, but I do see that I have a few people in the comments that are left, because as you know, I'm live, and I will be again live tomorrow night for mental mind treatments. Wednesday Norma talks maybe a little more open-ended, because I do have quite a few appointments on that day. I do know that tomorrow night I'll be here, and we should be right on time at 7. So I just want to say, Ishika, thank you. Hey, nice to see you back again. Maggie G, good morning. She says, Norma, we'll watch for your newsletter for the next event. Thank you. Yes, remember the newsletter. Every month, the end of the month, I put out, and I usually either have an event like the one we had yesterday, or a special on one of the books, or CDs or whatever. So there's things that often you can get, and a little awareness there. And also to Shekai says, September has been so rough again, but after August finally bringing some relief. Well, that's good. Life, weather is often a very big part of, for a lot of people. You have to understand your own system. What do you like? Where do you go? Like, I like warm weather. I don't like being cold, but there again, I don't like being over hot. So when we were away and we spent a night in a motel room, which, as people who watched last week's Sunday thought I was from, I ended up getting so hot that I could hardly sleep. And then it was kind of all itchy. And I said to my friend, what kind of soap powder this hotel used? I'm feeling really itchy. And even when I got home, I was feeling itchy. I don't know. It's taken a few days to get the itchy out. But it's amazing, you get used to having a certain level of comfort in your home, and then you go away, and you love to be away. It's kind of nice, but hot room or whatever. And anyway, whatever. That's part of the fun of traveling and looking at through. So I hope and trust that you enjoyed today, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow night for mental mind treatments. They're great things. Remember, whatever the treatments for maybe someone else often can work for yourself. So you have a great day today and tomorrow and the next day. And if all goes well, I will be here on time for Norma Talks. I might be a bit later. Anyway, we'll figure that out. Talk to you soon. Have a good day. Bye now.